Hi dear fans, friends and subscribers. Welcome once again to the Cricket Happening Show with your host Ram today. One is we are going to look at the first day's play in the first test match of the series, which started under a new captain as far as South Africa is concerned. Yesterday I definitely spoke about it. That was the first day, but today was the second day of this particular test match, the match between Sri Lanka and South Africa. And today the feature was JP Duminy going on to make a century, in which we saw that JP Duminy was looking pretty confident against the spinners. He used the sweep and the reverse sweep to good effect today, and he contributed exactly an unbeaten 100 with 10 fours. And as soon as Duminy got to 100, Hashim Amla, the South African captain, decided to enforce the declaration. He declared the innings closed at 455 for 9. Duminy definitely got some support from the tail-enders, I would say, like Vernon Philander, who can be considered an all-rounder. He contributed 27 runs. There were two partnerships that he had. One was a 75-run partnership with Vernon Philander, Duminy, and then Morkel gave him company with a 66-run partnership, and that really frustrated the Sri Lankans. And South Africa on day 2 finished on 455, but one was probably due to a lot of time being consumed. What Hashim Amla did is once JP Duminy got to his century, he applied the declaration. So 55 for 9 declared, and that was the score. And then Kaushal Silva and the openers Upul Taranga, who made a comeback into Test cricket, had to survive some torrid overs and some real fire and brimstone pace bowling from the strike bowlers Dale Steyn and Moni Morkel, and they survived till close of play. So Sri Lanka 30 for no loss. So I'll be talking about that. And also currently we have India playing at Lords after all the controversy between Anderson and Jadeja, and finally the ICC is the one who's going to really take a decision on that. But both the teams decided to go with unchanged teams for this particular second test match at the Mecca of English cricket, the Lords Cricket Ground. And there was a real surprise as far as the Lords Cricket Ground is concerned, as there was a greenish tinge pitch which was available, and India definitely are struggling. Right now when I'm talking to you, we are in session 3, and India are definitely struggling. They have been finding the going pretty tough. None of the batsmen have been really been able to put up a big score on the board, barring Ajinkya Rahane, currently unconquered on 54 with 8 boundaries, and they are currently 185 for 7. So it has been England's day for sure, no doubt about it. So I will be also giving you a cricket update and talking to you about whatever the proceedings that happened till this time. So probably a tea time report, one could call it. Well, let's talk about this game between South Africa and Sri Lanka. So South Africa resuming on their overnight score with Quinton de Kock and Dale Steyn. Dale Steyn was dismissed pretty early. Suranga Lakmal took the night watchman's wicket to Dale Steyn by clean bowling him for 3. So that made it 290 for 6. Quinton de Kock was joined in by JP Duminy. Now Quinton de Kock, he got his maiden 50 as far as Test cricket is concerned, when he contributed 51 runs with 6 fours before he was a victim of the bowling of Dilruwan Pereira, the off spinner. After that, so that was the time when the score read 314 for 7. JP Duminy was at the crease, coming in at number 8 for South Africa. That's the reason I said that South Africa boasts of a very strong batting lineup. And JP Duminy at number 8 got the company of Vernon Philander, and Vernon Philander gave him very good company by seeing to it that he offered good support to JP Duminy at the other end. And JP Duminy, the feature of the innings was today his play against the spinners. He handled Dilruwan Pereira and the left-arm spinner, the experienced Rangana Herath, pretty well by really using the sweep shot to good effect. He also used the reverse sweep at times, but sweep shot was the one which fetched him the maximum number of runs, and he played superbly. There was no, normally one has seen in the past that JP Duminy has been playing half cock. He has not been really committed as far as the spinners were concerned, but today it was a different JP Duminy. We all know that he has really improved his game now. because he knew that now if at all he has to make his place permanent in the South African scheme of things, he definitely has to really improve, and that's what precisely he has worked on. And we definitely saw that JP Duminy was pretty confident using his feet against the spinners, and he did a wonderful job. In fact, he had that partnership of 75 runs with Vernon Philander before Matthews actually picked up Vernon Philander's wicket, LBW for 27 with 3 fours, and then JP Duminy probably would have thought that it would have been very difficult for him to get a century with Vernon Philander gone, but Morne Morkel provided able support there by staying at the wicket, and that enabled by the time, and then Morne Morkel and then what happened was that JP Duminy in the company now had started frustrating the Sri Lankans this time with Morne Morkel as company, and they added very valuable 66 runs for the 9th wicket, and then JP Duminy finally, as I said, had an unbeaten 100 to his name with 10 boundaries, and Morne Morkel was clean bowled by Dilruwan Pereira for 22 with 4 fours, and Hashim Amla, as soon as JP Duminy reached his 100 and Morne Morkel was out, he decided to apply the declaration at 4:55 for 9. Now that only gave 12 overs to go for Sri Lanka to have a crack at the, for the South African bowlers to have a crack at the Sri Lankans. Now looking at the bowling figures as far as the Sri Lankans were concerned, Suranga Lakmal, 33 overs, 12 men, 75 runs and 3 wickets. I thought he bowled superbly in this particular innings. Shaminda Aranga, unfortunately for Sri Lanka, they were crippled by the absence of Shaminda Aranga after he went away. His figure stood at 9 overs, 4 maidens, none for 32. Rangana Herath toiled hard, 60 overs, 12 maidens, 148 runs and 1 wicket. Angelo Matthews, 11 overs, 1 maiden, 1 for 36. But Dilruwan Pereira had a very good stint here in the first innings when he bowled 53.2 overs, 8 maidens, 162 runs, but picked up 4 wickets. Now, as far as Sri Lanka were concerned, well, they had a very tough time. In fact, it was the pace bowlers Dale Steyn and Morne Morkel really hurling some thunderbolts, and Kaushal Silva got a real pacey delivery from Dale Steyn, and they had to survive. Upul Taranga definitely also had a tough time facing them, but as and when he got an opportunity, he covered row beautifully to pick up an unbeaten 20 with 4 fours towards the close, and Kaushal Silva showing compact defense was not out on 8 with 1 boundary, and Sri Lanka saw off the day with the score on 30 for no loss on the second day of this first test match. But they have a long way to go. The first primary aim would be to get 255 to avoid a follow-on. Now, as far as the bowling was concerned, Dale Steyn absolutely looking a real thunderous there with his bowling today. 4 overs, 1 maiden, none for 4. Vernon Philander, 3 overs, 1 maiden, none for 9. Morne Morkel, 3 overs, 2 maidens, none for 4. Imran Tahir bowled 2 overs where he was hit for some boundaries, 2 overs for 12 runs. But the ball is fresh. The new ball is absolutely fresh. Tomorrow, I'm sure the South African bowlers would be just longing to get the cherry in their hand, because the ball is new. There'll be the dew factor, and the Sri Lankan batsmen have to really weather that very crucial stage tomorrow in the first hour play when the third day's play starts. Well, from here I'm taking you down to England, and this is going to be a cricket update as I'm speaking to you. India in this first innings, India after putting to bat. In fact, England were the ones who won the toss. As I said, it was a greenish tinge pitch, and Alistair Cook, the English captain, had absolutely no hesitation in inserting the Indians in. Well, as far as the Indians were concerned, they went with an unchanged team. England also went with an unchanged team. Murli Vijay and Shikhar Dhawan opened the innings. They had being a greenish tinge pitch, as we know in the Lords, we have the slope which comes down, and James Anderson Broad was bowling in the good areas and was really giving a tough time to both Murli Vijay and Shikhar Dhawan, with a lot of edges not really carrying, but then finally Anderson moved a ball away from Dhawan. Dhawan was sucked into it, and all he could see is that Gary Ballance at third slip took a very good catch low down to his right, and he was gone for 7. So the breakthrough was provided by the man who was in the news before this test match, James Anderson. He was gone for, so Dhawan was gone for 7 with 1-4. India were 11 for 1. After that, Murali Vijay was joined in by Cheteshwar Pujara. Murali Vijay, well, he played some good strokes, but then Murali Vijay, trying to flick a delivery from Liam Plunkett, actually flicked it, but he got an inside edge onto the ball. The ball ballooned, and Gary Balance was the one who actually took the catch, and Murali Vijay was walking back to the pavilion, caught Balance, bowled Plunkett for 24 with 4 boundaries. India were 48 for 2 at that stage. After that, Virat Kohli strode in for the first time to play in the Lord's Test match, and he was joining Cheteshwar Pujara, who was looking pretty good with his defense. He was defending pretty well. He knew that was a greenish tinge pitch, and what was more important was the occupation of the crease and to stay there. And so both Cheteshwar Pujara and Virat Kohli had a big job to do. Well, they pushed on the score from 48 to 86 with Pujara hitting some boundaries, and then Virat Kohli also played some very good stuff. Virat Kohli started off with some very, very confident boundaries there, but then James Anderson came in, and when the score had reached 86, James Anderson, who was getting some good away movement there, got the ball to move away from Virat Kohli. Virat Kohli was caught into the stroke, and Pryor behind the stumps took the catch as Virat Kohli was walking back after making 25 with 4 boundaries, which made the score 86 for 3. Cheteshwar Pujara then was joined in by Ajinkya Rahane, and Cheteshwar Pujara well continued in the same vein by plodding well and really keeping the bowlers at bay. But then it was Pujara's turn to go. This time there was a fine delivery from Ben Stokes. Up the hill she went, and the ball went on to elude I would say elude the bat and pad gap of Cheteshwar Pujara and crashed into the middle stump. And Cheteshwar Pujara was gone, bowled by Stokes for 28 with 4 boundaries. The score read 113 for 4. Mahendra Singh Dhoni, the Indian captain, walked in to join Ajinkya Rahane, and Dhoni was absolutely at sea today. He was not looking his usual self. He really struggled, and finally the struggle was brought to an end when Mahendra Singh Dhoni was caught behind the bowling of Stuart Broad for 1, and that made it 123 for 5, and Indian innings was really going down at that stage. After that, more trouble for India as the controversial, the person in the news from the Indian side, Ravindra Jadeja, walked in, and well, Jadeja also didn't really look convincing in his play today, as he went and tried to push at a delivery from the left-arm spinner Moeen Ali, only to see that it hit his pad, and up went the umpire's finger. Ravindra Jadeja gone. LBW bowled Ali for 3, and India were 128 for 6. And then walked Stuart Binny, who was the test debutant in the previous test, and as you know, he played a match-saving innings of 78 in the first test match on his debut as he walked into bat. But today, Binny couldn't do much as he saw that James Anderson nipped him, LBW, with ball moving in, and Binny was gone. LBW bowled Anderson for 9, and India's innings never really took off. That was the only person who has reached the 50 and who is really sticking it out there right now is Ajinkya Rahane, who has hit some very good boundaries and has also showed real compact technique against the bowlers. He is currently not out on 61 with 9 fours. Bhuvaneshwar Kumar is continuing his good work. He has once again, even though 145 for 7 was the score for India, there has not been any partnership. The wickets have been falling at regular intervals, and Bhuvaneshwar Kumar definitely got 2 50s under his belt in the first test. He is showing that by right now he is not out on 18 with 3 boundaries, giving good company to Ajinkya Rahane, and the partnership right now, as far as both these batsmen are concerned, has taken the score from 145 to 196. So it's a 51 run. I'm just trying to see. It's a 51 run partnership. This is the first 50 partnership for India in this particular innings. So that really tells you how tough it has been for the Indian batting to tackle the English bowlers on a greenish tinge pitch. So 196 for 7 is the current score as far as the cricket update is concerned. The bowling, James Anderson, absolutely on the money today. 17 overs, 7 maidens, 26 runs and 3 wickets. Stuart Broad supported him, 17 overs, 5 maidens, 145. All the bowlers has been used by Alistair Cook have really delivered. Liam Plunkett, 14 overs, 5 maidens, 1 for 46. Ben Stokes producing the beauty of a delivery to dismiss Cheteshwar Pujara, 14 overs, 5 maidens, 1 for 28. And Moeen Ali, 13 overs, 2 maidens, 1 for 32. So for India, just trying to go and see, give you a live cricket update and tell you exactly what is the situation right now. We are in the third session. I think there is going to be, I'm just trying to look at the score and see how many overs are really left for the day. I believe there are only 14.4 overs left for the day, and the current score for India 196 for 7, Rahane 61 not out, Bhuvaneshwar Kumar 18 not out. That should probably bring an end to my cricket happening show for today. Well, dear fans and subscribers, I hope you all loved this cricket broadcast of mine. Thanks for your company as always, and your host Ram will be there tomorrow to talk about the third day's play in the match between South Africa and Sri Lanka. The morning session is going to be very crucial for the Sri Lankan openers when they face the likes of Dale Steyn, Molly Morkel, Vernon Philander and Tahir. And also I'll be talking about this match, which I said 14.4 overs to go. Your host Ram is also going to end the cricket show right now. Thanks for your company and thanks for your tremendous cooperation to this cricket show. Your host Ram will see you tomorrow. Thank you.